What is up, guys? It's your boy, Coach Clay. You can find me on all the social media platforms right here. You know why you clicked into this video. In case you don't know what's going on and have been living under a rock for the last couple of months, OU and Texas just signed a deal to be joining the SEC in 2025, which means all of their sports programs, in particular their football program, will now be a part of the Southeast Conference, where you have Alabama, LSU, Florida, Georgia, Auburn, Texas A&M. You get the picture. Now, everybody is asked, can you take a Big 12 team in a conference that's known for offense and stick them in a conference with some of the roughest, toughest football teams in the nation? Now, obviously, this is a video game, and clearly I don't have the rosters for 2025. But here's what I do have. I do have the 2021 University of Oklahoma football, and I have the 2021 University of Texas football team. I want to see how good these two Big 12 football powerhouses do in the SEC. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump into it. So here I'm going to start off. I'm going to make an offline dynasty. I'm going to start with taking OU and moving them into the SEC East, and I'll put Texas and move them into the SEC West. And this is what it's ultimately going to end up looking like. So you have Florida and Georgia and OU on the east side of the bracket, and then you got Alabama, LSU, and Texas on the west. Texas lining up with in-state rival Texas A&M. As you can see, so you can fact check me, this is the most up-to-date rosters. You got Steve Sarkisian leading the Texas Longhorns and Lincoln Riley leading the Boomer Sooner Nation. So here you can see some of their rosters. Spencer Rattler, number 1, obviously 95 overall. And then clearly on the other side, you got a couple of names. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, you'll also recognize. Here's a couple of the schedules. We're probably going to get through the first few weeks pretty quickly because I don't think any of these teams are going to fare up well against OU versus Texas. I want to get to the juicy games. So let's get into week 1. Texas and OU both are currently 0-0. OU's got FSC East, and that's going to be an easy win, 44-3. Let's see if we can get Texas in week 1 as well against Missouri. And Mizzou will actually pull out the first dub of that series. So that's going to be Texas going down 0-1. Moving into week 2, OU will have a bye week, but Texas will actually be lining up against Auburn. We're going to send this game as well, and it looks like Auburn will take the loss 21-38. Texas will now move up to 1-1. Week 3, we're moving through it quickly. Here we go, Texas and Ole Miss. Ole Miss loses 38-7. Texas will now move up to a 2-1 record. OU's got Kentucky. Kentucky will play against OU in that first matchup, and then I see Texas down here against Arkansas. Simming both of these games. Not really worth our time. So we're going to simulate this one as well. Kentucky will lose to OU 24-14, and then Texas will play Arkansas, and Arkansas will get smacked around. Texas will beat them 42-14, and now week 5. Let's sit in week 5 for a minute. So OU will play against Georgia. Texas plays against LSU. I'm going to sim this one because LSU's 1-3 this season. That was actually a close game. Texas will pull it out 31-27. Let's jump in the OU-Georgia game because I want to see this ball game. This is going to be a fun one. Georgia at home against OU. This is going to be a rivalry matchup that I personally think it's going to be a rivalry because Georgia has met OU in the playoffs, and OU will line up against Georgia. If you remember 2018, they played in the Rose Bowl against each other. OU lost that game to Georgia 54-48, so I'm calling this a rivalry game because the last time these two jokers matched up like this, it was a huge, high-scoring event. So I'm curious to see what this looks like, but we're going to skip through the first few quarters because let's be honest, we really want to see what happens in the fourth quarter. Let's see if this game is going to be close, and it looks like for the most part it is. Fourth quarter, let's jump into it. Tied ball game. Georgia will line up right there at the 1-yard line and dump that easy off to Dominic Blaylock. Dominic Blaylock will score that 1-yard reception that makes it 21-14. Spencer Rattler in this OU offense will step up. They'll try to pass it off to Kennedy Brooks with the draw. Can't find anything. Here we go again. Spencer Rattler lines up again in shotgun formation. Scans the field and drops it off to number 17, who will now get up to the first down marker, but it's 3rd and 1. Hands it off on a jet sweep and is met in the backfield by several Georgia defenders. It's 4th down and 4 with 3 minutes left. OU is going to have to kick this football, and that ball is going to go back into the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs, who will take that and be down at about the 32-yard line. Georgia's offense is now on the field. They'll try to ground and pound this clock out as much as they can. Zamir White with a 6-yard run. They're going to send a man in motion. JT Daniels with the handoff. Gives it again to the running back, who is met in the backfield. No, with a 1-yard gain. I'm sorry. Here we go. Ace package. He's lined up under center. JT Daniels making the cadence count. He'll go ahead and drop back and scan the field, finding somebody that he can get all the time in the world. We'll dump it deep. 2 defenders, and it's knocked down. OU will get the 3rd down conversion out of the way. It's 4th down and 3 with 2 minutes left. Georgia will have to line up and punt this ball. They'll go ahead and kick this ball off, and they'll push it all the way back inside of the 20-yard line where OU will bring the ball out of it. And it looks like OU will hopefully take their last drive at the 24-yard line. Spencer Rattler back under shotgun. Scans the field, has nobody, but he dumps it off on a halfback screen. Kennedy Brooks up the sideline. Finds a couple more yards off of that tackle and will be down at the 49-yard line. OU lined up again. Pistol formation. Spencer Rattler looks around, dumps it over the middle, finds a wide open receiver who is down at about the 37-yard line. Spencer Rattler brings it back on the field, back up to the line of scrimmage. He'll go again. Pass formation. Look in the field. All the time in the world right here. Looking for somebody. Chucks it to a guy who is covered, and it's picked off. Georgia will get the interception. That's the third turnover for the game. Georgia will put the nail in the coffin if they can run this clock out. That is with a minute left. Spencer Rattler with the huge mistake. And, of course, Georgia runs out this football, 14 OU to Georgia's 21. It looks like of a top 5 battle, Georgia ends up pulling this out close to the end. What a beautiful defensive play that they had towards the end. JT Daniels, your player of the game right here. And Georgia will sneak one out of OU and will give them, I believe this is their first loss of the season. Close ball game, very tough. Again, Georgia 2-0 now against this OU team in the last couple of years. Let's jump back into it. OU will face against the undefeated Notre Dame. I kind of want to see this game, but I also know Notre Dame, and know Notre Dame doesn't really perform well in big games, but they're 5-0 right now, so let me give them a chance. So number 6 OU will go up against Notre Dame, and I believe this is week number 6 or 5. All right, I'm just waiting to see if this game's going to be close. I'm waiting to see. Coming into the fourth quarter, it's 22-3, bro. It ain't even going to be close. Nah, I thought I could slow it down. It's not. It's going to be a 29-10 victory. And Texas and Iowa State. Iowa State's number 3. I probably wouldn't want to sim this because they're Big 12, but they're number 3 in the country. We got to get into it. Top 25 matchup: Iowa versus Texas. We'll line up against each other in the Jack Tri Stadium. Again, not even taking any chances. We're going to go ahead and jump straight to the fourth quarter and see what we got here. So far, 14-3 at the half. Let's see if Iowa State, they bring it within a point. So it's 13-14. Texas has the football. We got Casey Thompson in the backfield who will hand that off to the running back who will get a massive 15-yard run. Beautiful ball play right there. Inside of 3 minutes left to go. They're obviously eating clock inside of 3 of the play clock. Hand the ball off again. That brings them down to about the 48-yard line. Casey Thompson under center. Ace package. Hands it off again. Cannot get the first down. Iowa State will use their first timeout trying to stay undefeated. 3rd down and 1. Under center, Casey Thompson will drop back and find a wide open man along the sideline. He's going to be tackled, but not until they get the first down. Iowa State will use their next timeout. They'll go ahead and see if they can get this going. Man in motion will hand the football up into the middle of the field. That's Rashawn Johnson with the 4-yard rush. That's going to now bring it inside of 2 minutes of this football game. Man in motion again. Giving it to the running back, grounding and pounding as much as they can. That's Johnson with another huge gain, 3rd down and 1. Man in motion again. They're trying to feed the big fella as much as they possibly can. Casey Thompson with the cadence is trying to see if he can get it off, and he does, but he's met in the backfield. Johnson with the -5 rushing yards right there. They got to punt this ball. Inside of 48 seconds left to go, Texas will kick this football and will pin them deep in the corner. I think that's it. Was that at the 2-yard line? What a boot by this Texas kicker, bro. Brock Purdy's got to have to come out here. He's going to have to make a play. We got Iowa State lined up at the 3-yard line. Iowa State in the shotgun formation. Brock looking across the field. Almost got it picked off. But Texas just knocks it down. Here we go, 2nd and 10, inside 40 seconds left. Man in motion, Brock Purdy under shotgun, scans the field, looks for somebody to find open all the time in the world. And he connects, gets behind the defense who breaks a tackle. Up the sideline at the 40, the 30, brought down, and that might be a face mask. No face mask. They just passed 200 yards in passing. That's Xavier Hutchinson with the reception. Iowa State lines up now, 27 seconds left, no timeouts. They got back to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback will take the snap. Purdy looking around, trying to find somebody. Brock with all the time in the world, chucks it deep, and it's picked off. Ladies and gentlemen, the Texas defense stands strong. Texas will sneak away a victory against undefeated number 3 Iowa State in the nation. We'll bring them down. That's a hook 'em all day, every day. They'll come out feeling very good from this game. Joshua Moore right there with over 100 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns will be your player of the game for the University of Texas. Cyclones heading home with the first L of the season. What a week 6 matchup we had right there. Let's jump right into week number 7. We're going to advance where we have none other than OU versus Texas in week 7. If you don't know what this is called, it's called the Red River Rivalry. The show, I had to say that slow because I was going to fumble over my words. But obviously, this is a big matchup. Two huge rivals now inside the SEC conference. We're going to see what this looks like against number 4 OU and number 18 Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Winner of this game could really move the sway of things on their side of the division. So we're going to obviously jump towards the fourth quarter again. Tie ball game. Game's pretty close. Let's jump into it. Okay, here we go. Spencer Rattler will line up in shotgun. They are down 10 points with under 2 minutes left to go. Spencer in the backfield, trying to find someone. This line has given him all the time in the world. Spencer will dump it off deep. Who will find a man? Mike Woods with the 34-yard reception. First down, Oklahoma Sooners. Spencer brings him back to the line, takes it in shotgun formation, scans the field, tries to find somebody. Nobody there. And he finds a connection. Theo with the beautiful pass reception, 5-yard touchdown. That now makes it a one-possession ball game. Onside kick is recovered by the Texas Longhorns. That means OU's got to make some defensive stops quickly with 2 timeouts left to go. Here we go. Man in motion. Casey Thompson will hand this football off. He'll bounce off of a few tacklers, but that's a 2nd down and 4. OU will use their 2nd timeout of this half of football. Casey Thompson again, pounding the run game. And that might be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. The first down by Robinson. That now burns the last timeout for the Sooner football team. 3 seconds left on the play clock. They have to force a turnover. Robinson with the rock. Tackled, nothing. And Texas is going to burn that clock out. And they will be your winners of the Red River Rivalry in the Cotton Bowl arena. Spencer Rattler obviously beating himself up over this because turnovers has been a factor in this game. But Texas came in, grounded and pounded, played good defense, that same defense we saw against Iowa State, and they are sending OU back to their side of the bracket on the SEC division with another loss. Let's jump back into it now. We're going to advance to the next week where OU has a bye, but Texas actually has a game. So Texas will play against K-State. Not a big game. I'm going to go ahead and sim it. Oh my gosh, Texas lost 21-24 to K-State. Week number 9, LSU. OU will play against the LSU Tigers. And unfortunately, the game actually glitched on me, so I wasn't able to save the game. But the results of it is Texas lost against TCU and LSU lost to OU. So that'll move a couple of their records up on this one. But I did want to make sure I let you guys know instead of just bleeping it out. So we're going to keep on moving. Week number 10, OU with a 4-2 record, Texas with a 6-3 record. Texas will play against Mississippi State. We're going to sim this because Mississippi State has 1 win in the entire season so far. Texas obviously will win that one, and OU will play South Carolina. I actually will try to jump in on this one because I want to see if South Carolina can go ahead and hold their own on this. So OU, South Carolina, let's go ahead and sim this. And if it's not close, we'll just sim out the rest of the game like we did with Notre Dame. So far, somewhat of a close game. OU kind of pulling away at the moment. It's not even close. South Carolina can't even score, bro. No, that's not even close. That's going to end up with the final score of South Carolina 9, OU with 27. Week number 11, let's move into the next one. But let's take a pause and let's look at the standing. Georgia currently 9-0, number 1 in the East, OU behind them. Texas on the West side is actually leading. Texas A&M right behind them. So we'll move into week number 11. OU will play against Tennessee. We're going to obviously go ahead and sim this game to the fourth quarter. Same exact thing. I want to make sure we see if this game is close. If it's close, we'll watch. If it's not close, we'll move on to the next week. We only want to see the headbangers. So we're going to go ahead and sim some of this. Tennessee, we'll play OU in Tennessee's arena. OU jumping out on a huge lead so far, 35-7. Nah, that's not even close, man. That's not even close. We're going to go ahead and end that one. That's going to be another victory on the notch of the OU SEC belt right there. OU will come out with another victory against a tough Tennessee squad. Moving into week number 12, where OU will play against Missouri. OU currently 6-2 and Texas currently 7-3. Texas versus A&M. We're watching this ball game. We got a close matchup against 2 of the top teams in the West right now. That's the Longhorns versus Texas A&M. We have to watch this ball game. This is the non-negotiable. This was the rivalry everyone has been missing since A&M left the Big 12. Everyone wants to see this matchup. If you're in the state of Texas and you don't want to see this matchup, you're a liar. Everybody wants to see this. So we're going to go ahead and move forward to the fourth quarter, see what we got here. Currently, the game is pretty stinking close. Tied up ball game, 17-17, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Here we go. A&M will line up in a 5 wide receiver setup. They'll dump that off underneath, and that's going to be a first down. Beautiful ball right there on that 5 wide receiver set. Let's see if A&M can get these points and continue making some separation in this ball game. Hands it off to the running back who is met in the backfield, has nothing there, trips to the right side, quarterback under center. Will fake the handoff, scan the field all the time in the world, but will choose to run it. This is dangerous. He's in the open field. He's got all the time in the world. He's met by, but he fumbles. He fumbles the football. Texas A&M will turn the ball over back to Texas off of a king fumble. Oh my gosh. What a costly mistake by Texas A&M. That'll give Texas the football at the 15-yard line. Again, ground and pound football. Robinson with the 10-yard gain that puts him second down in inches. They're going to hand it again to Robinson, who is met, but not until he gets the first down conversion. Beautiful ball play right here by Texas. Casey Thompson tucks it under, and he'll go ahead and run this ball, but he'll be met not until he gets the 2-yard gain. 5 receivers set. Quarterback is under center. He drops back on a quick little drop, but actually can't find anything. So Casey Thompson will be sacked in the backfield. 3rd and 8. Casey Thompson will make a few checkdowns, scanning the field, trying to find somebody open. Beautiful cut block in the middle, by the way. But that will actually lead them to a 1st down and 10. Thompson will actually convert that right over the middle of the field. Good connection. Let's see what they can end up doing here. He'll drop back 5 yards, dump it over the middle again to Robinson. Robinson with the 5-yard reception. 2nd down and 5. Trips on the left side of the ball. They'll hand the football off again, and Robinson is met in the backfield. That's now making it a 3rd down and 6. Under 2 minutes left to go in this 4th quarter. Man in motion. Let's see what they end up pulling out right here. Texas got all the guys on the left side of the field. Let's see what they do with this, actually. Looks like they're eating a little clock. Texas will scan the field. He'll find a slant route right in the middle of the field. That's Joshua with a beautiful catch, and will get the 1st down. 1st down now inside of 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go. Quarterback will take the snap. Thompson over the middle of the field. Loves finding these guys in the middle. They are spreading this defense out really well, and they're finding the holes that they need to get these short little dump offs. Thompson will be sacked in the back. That's going to make it a 2nd down and 17 as we close in on the 1-minute marker. Thompson in shotgun will jump it over the middle again. Xavier Worthy, 4-yard reception. 30 seconds left to go, 3rd down and 13. Thompson in the backfield trying to see if he can set his team up for a field goal. He'll dump it off to Robinson, who throws 2 defenders off of him. Texas will call their first time out of the half. It's now 21 seconds left. They'll kick this ball up. And ladies and gentlemen, Texas will take the lead for the first time. I think this is the first time of the game, and will score that field goal now. Here we go. Isaiah Spiller in this Texas A&M offense have to match or beat it. 18 seconds left on the clock. Quarterback is scanning the field. He heaves it deep, and it's picked off again. Here goes the Texas staunch defense going right back at it up the field. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. That's 3 turnovers by this Texas A&M offense. That'll go ahead and seal the deal. Joshua with the beautiful play right there. Joshua Thompson playing out of his mind in the most clutch moment of that game. And that'll be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That'll move Texas again even further up the standings on the west side of the SEC bracket. That'll be your Texas Longhorns coming away with a 20-17 victory. What a beautiful play right there. That's beautiful ball. Like that, the defense is stepping up. They're grounding and pounding where they need to. They're making sure they get the turnovers that they need, because that turnover by the quarterback right there turned the whole momentum around in the entire game. Beautiful ball right here. Let's go ahead and jump back into our Week 12 matchup where we got OU versus Missouri. We're going to go ahead and sim that one, and of course, OU will beat Missouri. That'll move them up to 7-2 for the season, which will now move us from week number 12. Now we'll jump into week number 13, where you'll get to see Florida versus the Sooners. This one is going to be a matchup to be had. Top 25 battle. Florida versus OU. They played each other in bowl games, but they've never played each other in conference. Let's see if Spencer Rattler can lead his team to victory over Emory Jones in this Florida football team. Let's see what they got right here. All right, here we go. Number 24, Florida versus number 4, OU, playing in the Gaylord, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. They're going to line it up right now. We're going to move forward again like we always do to the 4th quarter, where we'll jump into with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go on the clock. Right now, OU is down 3 points with the football. Spencer Rattler dumps it off right over the middle. That makes it a 2nd down and 4. They have to get a field goal at minimum if they're going to push this to OT. A touchdown would win them this game. Man in motion with 3 full timeouts left to go on their side. OU will throw this to the sideline. Spencer Rattler will find Austin Stover, who will catch that, but it's still a 3rd down and 1. Hands it off to none other than, I believe that's Kennedy Brooks, who is stopped. 0-yard gain. OU will line up for the field goal. It's almost a 45-yard kick, and it's money. Ladies and gentlemen, OU has the ball game tied. Minute left to go. 3 timeouts left for Florida, and Emory Jones in this Florida offense will take the ball at the 20-yard line. They'll dump it off on a halfback screen, and he'll throw off one tackler. He'll ride another tackler until he gets the first down. It's a first down, Florida Gators. Now it's at the 35-yard line. Jones will tuck and run. Has one guy to beat, but cannot get past him. Amori Jones will now get that now at the 2nd down and 11 marker. So we'll get this again. Amori Jones in the backfield, trying to find somebody, dumps it off to his running back who will actually get the first down. That's Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce with the beautiful reception. Amori Jones with 6 seconds left on the clock has to heave it, and it is incomplete. 2 seconds left to go in this. 2nd down and 10. Jones for the game chucks it deep, and it's picked off by the Sooners. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into overtime. Oklahoma trying to get this win over top 25 Florida. OU will start with the football at the 25-yard line for this overtime that they're playing. They'll hand it off to Kennedy Brooks, and Kennedy Brooks is met in the backfield, but he gets actually a 2-yard gain after fighting through some of the contact. Spencer Rattler sends another man in motion. It's a spread formation. Kennedy Brooks in the backfield. He sends him right back down to the line of scrimmage. All the time in the world. Oh my gosh! No, he stepped out of bounds. It's 3rd and 8. He didn't get it. He'll dump it off to Kennedy Brooks on the halfback screen, who's met by the cornerback. Kennedy Brooks with the 3-yard loss. He had the touchdown, but he could not get it. Now they'll have to settle for a field goal, which will now make the game 20-17. Amori Jones in this offense step back up. Another halfback screen towards the sideline. Gets smacked. That's a 2nd down and 9. Dameon Pierce with that reception out the backfield. Here we go again. Amori Jones hands the football off. It's met by another defender. Pierce brought down with a 0-yard gain. 3rd and 10. Amori has to find someone. Goes back to the halfback screen again. Rides a tackler, but it's 4th down and 4. Let's see what they end up doing. Can they make it? And they do. That'll push us now to OT number 2. Now Florida starts with the football on the other side of the field at the 25-yard line. Amori Jones in the backfield. One guy with them. They got to run something other than screens. They keep going back to the screen. Jones now gets that ball back there again. They are trusting their running backs. They want to get the ball in the hands of their running backs. Pierce is brought back down. Now this Amori Jones with the run up the middle, and he falls forward for a first down. 12-yard run by the quarterback. Counter play, handed it off to Pierce. Pierce again. Screens didn't work, but that run play did. Jones puts him back under center, hands it off to none other than, yes, you guessed it, Dameon Pierce with the 6-yard run that makes it a touchdown. Florida Gators. OU has to match them or they lose this ball game. OU will have this ball now at the 25. Spencer Rattler scans the field, dumps it off to his running back, Mario Williams. He'll actually step out of bounds. 2nd down and 8. Rattler with the ball, throws it for the money, and it's picked off in double coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, your Florida Gators pulled off the defensive upset by taking the interception in overtime number 2. The Sooners will fall to the Florida Gators. Top 25 matchups. Man, these games have been living up to the hype. This is a beautiful ball game by this Florida team and this Oklahoma Sooner team, but unfortunately, in this instance, the Florida Gators were able to pull it out towards the end. That'll move your Sooners with another loss on their side of the bracket as they're trying to catch number 1 Georgia on their side. What a ball game between these two top 25 opponents. Let's jump back into it. Week number 13, we're staying in that, and we got Texas and Alabama. This is the matchup a lot of y'all want to see. Texas will go against Alabama. Nick Saban. Let's see what they have here on this side of the bracket. Now, Alabama's not vying for anything. They're not having a very good season, but they got a lot of pride on this Alabama football team. So I'm interested to see how Texas lines up against this Alabama football team, because this is going to be a battle of headbangers. Texas all year has been playing headbang defense and ground and pound offense. Let's see if we can make this work with these two football teams. All right, inside of 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, Texas has the football down by 6. They're going to hand that off to Robinson, who's going to run to the sideline and get a 5-yard gain. Thompson in the backfield finds a guy wide open in the middle of the field, destroyed with the hit stick. Here he goes again. Thompson scanning the field, finds another man wide open over the middle. This Bama defense is laying some smacks on these tackles right here. Play action. Corner finds a guy wide open, Jake Smith, who gets that reception that's now inside the 30. Thompson will scan the field, dump it off again to his running back, who is Robinson, who's met by 2 defenders. 2nd down and 2. Texas is moving this football inside of 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. But now it's a 3rd down and 2. Big down right here. Thompson will tuck that and will get tackled. 4th down and 1. They might have to go for this. They will go for it. They'll hand it off again to the running back who gets the 1st down and then some. That's Rashawn Johnson now inside the 15. Scanning the field. Middle of the field, finds another receiver but does not get a gain. Inside of 1 minute left to go in this ball game. Robinson towards the middle. Will bounce off of one tackler and will score the touchdown. Texas takes the lead for the first time of the night. Will now make that a 28-27 lead between Bama. Quarterback will snap, find a wide open screen, who will run up the sideline. 45 seconds left to go. Clock's ticking now down to 10. They ate a lot of clock up. I don't know why they ate that much clock up, but they're going to go ahead and take the snap and heave it deep. Oh my gosh, single coverage. He makes the reception. Jamison Williams will catch that now and will put them at the 25-yard line. Bama will line up the kick. And it's good. Bama comes away sneaking out a victory off of some questionable play calls that gets them towards the end of this football game. But nevertheless, Nick Saban and his Bama football team will win the game by 2 points. That's going to be Texas 28 to Alabama's 30. They'll now move down on the bracket, competing still with Texas A&M to have that #1 spot on their side of the SEC. What a beautiful game that's done by these two football teams. Let's keep moving now into week number 14. Texas and Vandy. Vandy's got a really bad record, and we're going to go ahead and sim this game as well because I don't think this is personally going to be close. It's not. OU 45, Vandy 14 will move now OU into the 8-3 record for this season so far. Texas has a bye week, so let's move into week 15 where OU will play Bedlam. OU versus Oklahoma State. I don't know what to expect from this ball game. Rivalries are always a toss-up in the air, but I do want to get a chance to see if it's close. We'll watch it. If it's not close, we'll just go ahead and move on. But this is a big rivalry matchup, in-state opponent between OU versus Oklahoma State. We're going to see if this Oklahoma State team can keep this football game close and probably pull off a really big upset as OU tries to seek supremacy on their side of the bracket in the SEC. Huge implications in this game right here, and it's not even close. OU's got the game all the way locked up with 44 points on the board, and we're going to go ahead and sim the rest of that out. Let's move on to the SEC Championship and see the top winners. But before we do that, let's look at the SEC season stats. Few things to point out. Georgia 1, Texas 2, and OU is 3. Georgia on their side of the bracket 1, OU is 2. On the other side, Texas is #1 and A&M is #2 on that side. When it comes to total offense, OU is #3 in the SEC in total offense. When it comes to the pass game, OU is #1. Texas actually is #6 or 7. But when it comes to the rushing game, OU and Texas are pretty close down to the 6 and 7 marker. Totaling the points per game, OU and Texas will actually have a top 4 finish between the two of them. Now let's look at the defense. OU currently #2 in total yards allowed. Texas going down the list at about #7. OU dominates the run game with the #1 rush defense in the SEC. And when it comes to total points allowed, OU allowed the second amount of least points scored, and then Texas is around the 6 or 7 mark. But I know you guys want to see it. But I know you all are interested to see the same exact thing that I am, which is who is the #1 team in the SEC. Is it Georgia and this Bulldog team that went 11-1, or is it Texas, the rough-nosed defense, ground and pound offense that's on the other side of the bracket, sitting with an 8-4 record? Well, let's not waste any time going into the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. #21 Texas versus #7 Georgia. We're going to move to the fourth quarter with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left. Texas will kick this ball off and will now tie the ball game with 22 seconds left to go. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in this ball game. It's anyone's game at this point. Texas wants to be the #1 team in the SEC, but Georgia, with the best record at the moment, is making sure they make their final stand. They'll start with this side of the ball. Georgia will get the ball at about the 25-yard line. They'll go ahead and start off again in an ace package. Quarterback under center sends a man in motion. 2 minutes left to go in this ball game. Makes a check down. Snaps the football. 5-yard drop. We'll drop it off to number 86, who will get the first down and will convert that. Almost 300 yards of total passing for the day. John Fitzpatrick with his first reception for the day as well. So here we go. Georgia lines back up inside of 2 minutes left to go. First down. We'll hand the football off. That's Zamir White with the 4-yard rush. Back on the ball. 1 minute and 46 seconds left. Finds a man wide open in the middle of the field, who will be stopped past the 50-yard line. JT Daniels is having a game right now. 284 yards of passing with 3 touchdowns. Daniels pressured in the pocket, and it looked like a fumble, but he actually threw the football. So that's going to be an incomplete pass. That'll move it to 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Quarterback sends a man in motion. JT Daniels has to get this conversion. They just need a field goal. He'll find a man wide open. That's number 7, who will get tackled at about the the 16-yard line. Jermaine Burton with the beautiful pass reception right there. A minute left to play. They'll do a halfback draw that goes absolutely nowhere. Kenny McIntosh will actually be dropped back there in the backfield. Here we go again. 2 dudes in the backfield. JT Daniels letting the clock run out. Will fake the handoff, play action, stand up tall in the pocket, will dump it off in the middle of the field. Number 88, that's Ryland, will go ahead and catch that. 23 seconds left to go. JT Daniels hands the rock off and finds nothing but daylight, but will be stopped at about the 2-yard line. Now 19 seconds left to go. We'll hand the ball off again and we'll score the football. Georgia now makes a 1-possession game. That's a touchdown by Zamir Wright, who runs it right up the middle. Texas will take the ball. 3 timeouts, 17 seconds left. Casey Thompson dumps it off with a corner route. Finds a man open. That's Jake Smith with a 21-yard reception. 13 seconds left. 3 timeouts still left in the pocket. Here we go. Casey Thompson will look and scan the field. Dump it off towards the middle, who finds another guy wide open. Jared Wiley. 1st down, Longhorns. Another timeout to use. 8 seconds left on the clock. Thompson with the cadence. Will look around the field. Tries to find someone. Will heave it deep. It's picked off. How do you pick that off when there's 3 Texas Longhorn players there and 1 Georgia? Wow. What an athletic play by this Georgia defender. That'll seal the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 SEC champions belongs to none other than the Georgia Bulldogs, who came down and walked that entire length of the field and scored with the Zamir Wright halfback draw, who came up with the huge defensive play. What a game by JT Daniels, the obvious player of the game with over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. That's going to give them the SEC championship. Georgia demonstrating dominance right now in this conference. Will take down number 24 Texas. That's definitely not something to put your head down about. Texas played a phenomenal year, making it all the way to the SEC championship. OU made it to number 2 on the east side of the bracket, right behind an 11-1 Georgia. This was some great season by the 2 Big 12 powerhouses. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you wouldn't mind doing me a huge favor, would you actually hit that like button on the stream and just tell me in the comment section who's your favorite squad? Did you like the outcome? Did you want to see something different? Y'all let me know in the comments. I would love to know as we continue giving this content. My name is Coach Clay. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. I go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch on Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time Zone. I'd love to see you in the streams. Shouts out to you college football fans. Football's right around the corner. Just hold on.